Huh? But come over here and have a look at the skeleton. So you remember who you're with, yeah? So if we're now going to get someone lying on their side, and I've chosen that this is his comfortable side, how would we check, just like we've been doing on the back, how would we check that he's ready for us to begin to explore movement around here? What could we do to make him more accessible, which is going to be usually more comfortable? How would we decide if he needs something between his knees? So if he was, yeah, so if you could see that his pelvis was rolling backwards or forward, no? So that'd be an observation thing. You could feel, you could put your hand, what would you be looking for? Would it have to be backwards and forwards? Could be. Huh? But you want something in his pelvis to be free, don't you?
It's just that if you're on your side, you could be flexing up and down too.
Absolutely. So it's going to depend on the shape, you know, that I'm going to have to observe something about probably the shape he's making, where he looks maybe a little bit easier to move in. So, you know, if he was, he's not, but if he was very extended, where might, well, he was before. If I take him back here, he really doesn't like his legs there. No? I had to take him a long way forward. So, yeah, I'd be looking, but if he was really extended, I wouldn't again be trying to go, huh? I have to follow, if you like, the shape that he's telling me that maybe he wants to make. So if I've got him in this position and I just do that and I can see, that slides pretty easily. If I was feeling he was sticking, or what you'll feel on a lot of people is you do this, you feel this knee pushes down and gets stuck, then I know I probably have to have something under his knee. Just to free it a little bit. You'll find the same, you know, people who have really bony knees often need something a little bit between their knees so these big condyles don't get stuck on each other. So yeah, I'm going, first thing I'm going to look for, is there a little bit of a give in his pelvis? If there isn't, what would I do? What could I?
There's a constraint there. You go somewhere else where it moves more easily. I'm thinking the stuff we did with the shoulder and the hip.
Yeah, but at the moment we're getting there, but we want this set up. So we could, sorry?
Bent his knees are, so whether they're bent up close to his bottom or further out.
Yeah. Is it easier if the legs are in a little bit different position? Huh? Do they want to be a little bit more bent or a little bit more straight? And you could do that yourself. If they're heavy, I wouldn't, you know, but you could say, could you take your knees down a little bit? Could you bring your knees up a little bit? So what we're asking is, what would you be doing on yourself in ATM to adapt? Huh? So definitely the position of the legs is going to make a difference. Definitely maybe putting something between the knees is going to make a difference. Yeah. So that's now if we're going to come up to this end, yeah. So we've got him so that
the feet are not showing.
The movement, no, they are. I'm interested in that the way it goes all the way through.
But you're only looking at the bottom half because when I do it, I manage.
No, I'm thinking of the whole person.
So I manage by shifting something at the top. And
absolutely, but at the moment, this is just like what we've been doing in lying on the back. What do? We check the what happens in the legs. So yeah, we're just sort of sticking at the moment is there something we can do just to make it easy for them. But when I'm doing it, absolutely, I want the movement to go as much as possible all the way through. So what's intriguing for me with him is when I do it, his upper leg responds, but nothing happens in his lower leg. So I'm not that happy yet with this position. No? That'd be a little bit like if you were lying on your back and you had one of their legs feeling really free and the other one was still not doing anything. So that could be, if I roll him a little bit back, will that get some of the weight off that leg that lets it happen a little bit more? No? But you're just going to have to play around with it. No? Next thing, so I've got that. If I'm going to go up and work now, which we're going to do with the shoulder blade and the movements of the shoulder blade, I want movement here. I want something to be available to move here in the upper back, because if this is stuck, this is going to be really hard to move. So I'm usually going to come in and just check, is there just a bit of give there in that area? Do I just feel something's possible? That will usually be the height of the head that I can play around with to check that, because you can imagine if I've got his head too low, and he'll show us, if all that weight is dropping onto that underneath shoulder, you would expect that this can't move. It can't, there's no room because I'm stuck into the ground. Huh? So I have to do something with his head, and for a lot of people, I might have to lighten their head a lot more maybe than they're used to make it that I can roll across that underneath shoulder. Huh? So it might not be absolutely neutral.
So you had the head until you can...
Until I've got movement here, until I can shift that weight. Huh? And again, why we're doing that with you at the moment, I do it anyway, not everyone does, is that sets this up that you're going to be able to feel more. And that's really important when you're beginners. Huh? That the more the person's set up, the easier it is for you to begin to feel not only successful, but that I can feel something happens. I'm not fighting them. Huh? So do you want to do that first? So they're going to go on their most comfortable side, they choose, and you're going to set them up. Off you go.
You're not pushing through the shoulder blading, but above the shoulder blade.
I'm on the base of their neck.
On the base of the neck, yeah, that's what I meant. Not on the shoulder blade.
Nope.
Yeah.
Just like I'm on the, I'm on the pelvis.
And then you move
base
down.
Of their neck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. First rib, if you like. Mm-hmm.
Who's up, who's down?
The person that you just did it with, that's who you're working with. So obviously the person who was sitting is down, and the person
Standing is up.
who's standing is up. Mm. Mm.
You're on here, Julie.
Just in here. Anywhere in here, really. It's, Viv, it's pretty gross. It's, do you know what I mean? I'm not...
Gross as in disgusting or gross?
Well, gross as in... Yeah.
Unrefined.
Yeah, unrefined. So we'll have to help them with this, Lisa.